Alright everyone, everyone keeps asking about my helmet, so this is the helmet that everybody loves to look at. You guys never even seen this side. This is actually the crazier side. So if we get over to here, here's the camera setup. Alright. The camera is a WASPcam Gideon. This is the camera I've been using since literally the beginning of this channel, and it's awesome. So you guys can see it. You know, it's like, you know, it's very similar to a GoPro in a lot of ways. Like, you know, if you know a GoPro, this makes a lot of sense. So it's just the camera. And then on the back, this is where it gets a little crazy. You can see all my wiring because the wiring for the mic is super long. And then there is the mic power source right there. The mic has to be powered, so it has a little battery that goes in there. I just used detailer tape. You guys can see it's sticky. I just used that, and it powers the mic. So yeah, there may be a face reveal in this video. Not 100% sure. So yeah, it works fine. You guys can see it. The mic plugs in there, so I'm actually going to show you how that part works. So if I bend this down, I actually drilled a hole. You guys can see that. I drilled a hole the exact perfect size for this mic to plug in there, so it's actually still effectively pretty close to watertight. It's definitely fine for rain and all of that. I'm not even afraid. So that's the setup. You guys can see the wiring. So there's a bunch of it. It just wraps around itself. And you guys can see the one wire goes underneath there. It goes behind the cheek pad, up inside like that. And then if you look over the front, that is actually right here. It runs all the way down the inside of this cheek pad, and then there's the mic right in there. I have a rubber band around one of those little wind protectors. It just sits down there. It's not very complicated. It's probably one of the least complicated setups out there. Now that we have this thing too, it is time to mount up the new camera. Or not the new camera, it's time to mount up the camera to this bad boy. Well, basically get it mounted and then figure out how I'm gonna run the wire. Let's figure that out now. I think I'm actually going to mount the camera down here. I think I'm finally going to go for the front mount master race. So I'm going to see if that'll work. If not, I mean, obviously it'll just go on the side somewhere. But I think I'm going to try for the front mount. What I have to figure out, though, is how I'm going to hide the wiring. It looks like if I was to front mount it, which would be right here, if I ran the wire along the side here, I can kind of hide it inside here, and then essentially just try and run it out to the front, where I need the mic to actually sit. It looks like I could probably use these things. These are just wind mounts, so I'm going to have to basically mount it somewhere in here. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do that yet, but, you know, we'll figure it out as we go. But yeah, if anyone's wondering, this is an Icon Alliance helmet. I think it's the Dark, is what they call it. I put the visor on it. That's like the sunglasses. So yeah, let's get started. See, now what's interesting is, on this camera, I'm actually using the bottom mount. You can see it right there. I think I'm going to actually try and use the back mount this time around, which is back here. I think it'll make it easier, so let's see if I can figure that out. Let's take this off first. Alright. Let me just get the mic disconnected, and I'm just going to work with solely the camera. Wow, this wiring's a mess. Alright, there we go. As you can see on this one, I have the mount right there. I actually bought new mounts, and I'm going to put one right on the front. I've actually been using GoPro mounts. The WASPcam ones I don't have anymore, but for now I'm going to use GoPro mounts because they were a lot easier to get. Alright. Now here's the fun part. I have to figure out which mount is going to be the best for the front, and these kind of got jammed up together. That's not good. Let's see. I think one of these will actually work pretty well. It's not really a perfect mount. You know, actually, let's just try the flat. I think the flat are too... Yeah, they're too flat. Let's try... That's also flat. I think curved will work. Actually, like that... That's pretty good. Put it kind of low. These mounts stick like crazy. Yeah, that seems pretty good. I'm going to try that out. Yeah, just a little side note. You see I have a mount down there. I actually originally was going to put the mount up here. I never took it off because it's so hard. This is actually an official WASPcam mount. It's actually really funny. They're just, like, they're too strong. I literally can't get this thing off. So I've just kept it up there ever since. Nobody's really ever noticed or said anything, but yeah. So I've actually got two mounts on this thing right now. So we're going to put one on the front, and I'm going to see how that goes. Figure out where I'm going to put it. I think lower is probably better. I just don't want to, like, my fear is that I don't want to block the air vent on top. I'm actually going to try and figure this thing out before I commit and start sticking stuff. Would have to go on that, so I have to figure out. Oh, that sits so far out. It's so ugly. Like, look at that. That's so far. Oh, man, I don't know. Alright, so I've been concepting for a while now, honestly. And I'm trying to figure out how... Will this go totally south? I had to put a bolt in this one. Oh, come on. Don't be a turd nugget. These things are more temperamental than Pokemon Go servers. Now, will that bend all the way up? If I put it on like that, I think it would actually, with the piece to connect to the camera, let's give this a try, just sizing it up. It really complicates the setup, and I don't think it made it any easier or any closer in. Well, that's sad. What if I put it down here? That definitely makes it closer, but I still have that issue of then it's obstructing my view. You know what I really need? I need one of these. I need this mount right here that doesn't turn 90 degrees. Am I overdoing this? Like, is there an easier way? Alright, after some thought, I've determined this is my best setup that I could do as of right now. So as you guys can see, it's just the regular case. I put the mount on the back, and I'm going to be using a sticky adhesive mount. It's still angled because I had it tested on the bike, or on the helmet. And I'm literally just gonna slap it on right in the front, because my theory is it really won't look very bad to just have that on the front. You probably won't even notice it because it just looks like another vent. So I'm gonna go with that for now. We're gonna see how that works for the time being. I'm just gonna kind of give you guys an idea. Just gonna do that. We're gonna see how that works out, and if I have to make any improvements, I obviously can. So we will go from there. All right, here's the moment of truth. Let's give it a shot. I don't know if I can ever get this backing off. There we go. Wow, these things are strong. Yeah, I guess they're the same on both sides, so I really hope that's in the middle. About as even as I'll ever get it. Alright, so there we go. There's a little bit of a gap on each side. It's really not a perfect stick. However, it is better than the WASPcam mount would be. WASPcam mount, as you can see here, is really wide. And on this one, I mean, you know, I can get my whole finger underneath it. It's still strong. It's not moving. It's not going anywhere. But you can kind of get an idea. It's still the same issue of they really don't use proper surface area to stick, which is a real shame, but none of them do. Even GoPro hasn't figured out how to make different mounts yet, so I mean it does stick out far, but it's really not bad. Like, honestly, I can live with this. This is not bad at all. But I do have an idea. I'm probably going to modify this, paint these a less intrusive color, so I'm probably going to do that and make this thing look a little more innocuous, because everything I have for this bike is black. I really don't want to break that. So, but anyway, here, you guys can get an idea. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't obstruct my vision. I already checked. Oh, see, we do have that same issue of the wiggly GoPro mount, just like the other one. You can see on this one I had to put tape, so I'll definitely do the exact same thing again. Fix the wiggle, because that'd be annoying. But otherwise, yeah. Next up, I gotta figure out how to fix that wiggle, and I guess figure out how I'm gonna route the mic. All right, so how I fixed it on the last one, you know, obviously I used tape. It's tighter, but that's solid. Look at that. No wiggle at all. I mean, it only wiggles as much as the helmet lets it, so that's awesome. Okay. Actually, it still has a little bit of wiggle in the bottom. Yeah, look at that. The wiggle's coming back. Another piece of tape it is. There we go. That's pretty good. That's about as wiggle-free as I'm going to get it. If anything, it's going to cause more issues with the mount now, to be honest. And that mount seems pretty strong. I don't know. You know, I did use that detailer tape, that two-sided tape, to stick this to the side of the camera. Obviously, I could do that at the end. It's not really a concern. Like, that's last-minute stuff. I got to figure out how I'm going to route this mic and how I'm going to stick it. Probably some of that two-way tape, to be honest. So, let me first get the mic out. Alright, first thing I'm definitely going to do is just try and figure out where it's going to sit inside the helmet. So as you guys can see, it has like that little lip. Going to use that to my advantage, maybe? The first time you want to do this to a helmet, it definitely doesn't let you. Like, you can see how much resistance I'm getting from this helmet to get this wire inside. I had the exact same thing. Ooh, actually, that fits even better than the other one did. You can see, look at that, you can't even see the wire in there. And then look at that, it's right there. That's actually awesome. So now I can run it down and out the side of the helmet. So that actually worked out pretty well. Alright, I'm gonna figure out how to route this and I'll let you guys know. Alright, I'm really excited. I think I actually figured this out. So as you guys can see, the mic is right there. It runs behind this cheek pad. And then, so basically back here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run the wire. It'll actually sit, let's see if I can get the camera in there. It's actually gonna run behind all this white padding. There's little spaces everywhere in there. One thing that's interesting is this right here. This is actually like a pocket. I can get my, like, you know, I can get fingers in there. It's a pocket for those Senas, those headsets. There's actually one on each side, like, so you can put the earpieces in. I'm actually gonna hide a bunch of the excess wire in there. Now, it sounds dumb, but it really doesn't add up that much weight, but it's gonna get rid of a lot of that wiring that I used to have the issue with. It was always on the side and kind of disgusting on this one. So I'm gonna see if I can hide it behind there. So then I'll give you guys a little concept. Pretend I already ran a bunch of the excess in this little pocket. So it's gonna run back. It'll jam inside this. It'll hide along the inside. I know it's not perfect. And then what's awesome is I'm gonna actually be able to run it inside this rubber lining. I mean, I'm doing a really crude job, but I wrote it all the way up to there. So it's gonna run all the way around the front, and I'll keep whatever excess I need. I'll probably even mount this little piece, probably in the back somewhere, to be honest with you. I'll probably mount that somewhere in the back, and then I'll run the extra wire. I'll run it all the way around this. It'll pop out the front, and then it will connect right there. So it's actually gonna be pretty seamless. Oh man, I am cooking with some gas now, guys. All right, so here, just to give you guys an idea, there's the mic. It travels up in here. I have a bunch of the wiring. I don't know if I can even show it. You guys can maybe see it right there. I have a bunch of it. I don't even want to take it out. It's a nightmare. I have a bunch of it wrapped up in a circle in the earpiece, and then you can still, you can see this wire. I apologize. That's jammed inside. It goes down and out the back. So then that wire comes out right here, and then on the back I have the piece for the mic where I can turn it on and off. I have the on and off button on the bottom, that way it doesn't get rained on or anything like that. Turn it over. So here's where it gets fun. You can see the wire goes in. I guess I shouldn't have even turned it. I apologize. So the wire goes in, you know, makes sense. Oh man. Wire goes in. It goes up the cheek pad, up into here. In here, let's see. I have so much wiring in that earpiece. It's not even funny. Like, so much. Jam that all back in there. So that goes up. A bunch of it wraps in there, and you can actually see there's a second wire. So like it goes in. I have a bunch of it wrapped up. It comes back out. You can see it right there. It's hiding. You can see a little bit right there. It's hiding all along inside the bottom. You can see I have it taped up here. That is where it then comes out of that liner, goes up here, and then unfortunately I really couldn't get rid of the wrap, like the wire wrap. This mic is just so long. So then I wrap it. It ends here, you know, the actual mic ends there. I have that connector so I can connect it to my camera because it's proprietary, because why would they make it normal? And then, you know, it goes from there, goes in, and then it clicks in. So that's the setup. So as of right now, this is functional. I can literally go motovlog right now like this. This 100% works, and I'm totally going to. But first, alright, first things first, show you guys, I took this off. This is the top piece. It's super easy, just pop it right off. Next, I'm going to figure out, with the moment of truth, I'm going to figure out these are